Welcome back to another Edgewonk review. I'm here again with Moritz, my co-founder at Edgewonk. Hello, Moritz.
Hi guys.
So this journal was sent in by a user, and the user said that he is a relatively new trader and he would like some advice on his journal. So I thought what we're going to do is we're going to go through the journal, pretty much all the tabs or the most important ones, and we'll see how the trader is doing, what he's tracking, and maybe find some ways how we can help him improve his journaling routine and make sense of his data.
Sounds good.
So the first thing we can see is that the trader is in a plus. We're going to take a look at the equity graph in a moment. There was a drawdown in the beginning and then recovered. Close to a 50% win rate, which is decent, especially because the winners are slightly larger than the losses. The profit factor is not super great. At least it's above 1, which is good. And for a starting trader, that's what counts most of the time, just having a profitable profit factor. What type of trader do we have? Average holding time, 27 minutes per trade. So an active day trader, 1.3 trades per day, 3 per week, which is not super active, so it's very selective. As we can see in the calendar, it's mostly just 1 trade per day, with a few exceptions. So should we go to the equity graph maybe to see get a better picture?
Okay. Interestingly enough, since the lowest peak or the lowest trough, this trader seems to have turned things around for the last 44 trades, which is nice. So yeah, uptrend since then, pretty good.
This shows a very good mental game after 40 trades when you're in a loss, especially after such a big loss, you are recovering and then now in the green. Good for
Very nice.
not switching the system, which is what a lot of traders going to be tempted to do here. Or at one point here, if you have 30 to 40 trades that are not working, or many are not working, and you just see a red equity graph, but pushing through this is really a good sign here already. Maybe let's go to the drawdown and here. Yeah, the biggest drawdown, let's see in terms of percentage, was a 8.5% drawdown. Frequent smaller drawdowns.
Yeah, nothing too worrying here. I mean, 8% drawdown is still very, very manageable, especially on smaller accounts. So.
True. So I want to go to why we're at a drawdown. I think it makes sense to look at the risk distribution. So the average position size is usually clustered around the center here or around the big area here. So somewhere in here is the average position size, probably around 1%, maybe a little bit less. Two outliers here, 3% and 2.5%. I would not say it's too concerning. We don't see any large outliers on the far left.
Because this trader is trading crypto, it might be slippage as well. Maybe it's a very thin market and didn't get out in time, even though the stop loss order was in place, something like that.
Yeah, we can look at those actually in more detail. We have the filters here. We can just look at the return. So one was here and the other one was in this bracket. So we can look at the journal and then see what's going on here. Let's look for the largest losses. The good thing is the note taking here, which is really nice. Pretty much every trade has a note, and especially as a beginner, but also advanced or intermediate traders will greatly benefit from taking detailed notes because, of course, you can get a lot out of the data, but the note is going to be really interesting and helpful.
I'm really impressed because this is supposedly a new trader, and the journaling is done really well. That speaks really highly for this trader. Gonna improve quickly if they keep doing that.
Yeah, and as you can see, pretty much every trade has a note.
That's funny. He goes into his mother tongue, Spanish or what that is, and then starts swearing. That's hilarious.
The trader seems to be aware of what is going wrong, which is good when you look at your trades objectively. So this is going to be super helpful for the trader. Just also the reflection process, just spending a few minutes on each trade to recap what happened, to ask yourself what could have been done better. So I don't see a big reason for, or I don't see a reason for why they got out of hand, those trades.
Yeah, maybe just differently sized.
Yeah. I don't think at this point it's anything to worry about. If this keeps happening and if you see larger or more outliers here on the left, that's maybe something to keep in mind. But for now, I think this is still fairly okay.
Yes.
So let's go. I'm not sure if there are custom stats time frame. Yeah, we had this in the past. The 5-minute time frame is underperforming while the 3-minute is performing very well. I don't see a reason why a trader should then stop the 5-minute specifically. There's no reason why a system should work on the 3-minute but not on a 5-minute, right?
Yeah, unless this trend really continues over the next, I don't know, 200 trades or so, then there might be really an interesting edge here on the 3-minute chart. But besides that, I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah. What you could do is go to the custom stats and look for 5-minute trades only, and then go through the other charts to see what is going on here. So clearly it's going to look like this. It's mostly losses. And then you could try to see, okay, why are the 5-minute trades not working? Is it is it a problem of the 5-minute, which at this point I would not expect, most likely due to execution. What do you think?
Very, very likely.
We were in the custom stats, time frame interesting, preparation, well prepared, had rushed. Okay. Yeah, so clearly without a good process, the trades don't work out, which is the correlation that you typically will see. But it's good to see it actually in front of you.
Yeah, and I hope the trader doesn't add more trades to those two bars in the future, because that should already be enough evidence to just don't trade if you don't have preparation.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the trades that we pulled up the notes said it as well, don't trade when you're rushed. I think the trader is very well aware of it, and seeing how much you're actually losing, $500 and 600, that would more than double your trading performance. So that should give you a lot of confidence that when you do your work, you make money. When you're not doing your work and you're not on top of your game, you're losing money. Should be a big confidence boost, actually. Mental state. Okay, that's very, very detailed here. Again, you need to feel on top of your, you need to feel good. You need to be on top of your game. And if you're not feeling great, then you're losing money. And that means you should just only trade on those days where you're feeling good, or make sure that you have some routines in place where it helps you to get into the right mindset.
Yeah, super, super interesting. Does this trader have multiple setups?
So footprints are not making as much, but we only have 9 trades in here. That could change very quickly. With such a small sample size here, 9 trades, 4 trades, of course, 1 trade, but that's not meaningful enough. At this point, you don't want to stop trading one of the setups, even though they are underperforming.
Yeah, totally. Just keep going and see how this develops in the future.
So it's purely a crypto trader. Most of the trades in Bitcoin.
If you have so many trades in Bitcoin, then just focus on Bitcoin. I mean, maybe some days the other pairs look really juicy, but obviously your edge is in Bitcoin. Just focus on it. Forget about all the other stuff, and you should improve your edge even more.
And also probably it's going to be very beneficial to your mental game when you only have to analyze one market. You feel less rushed, which is a thing that we have seen already is a problem for you.
Yeah.
Also, when you only focus on one market, you can dive much deeper into this pair. You can look at correlations and more intricate details about this market. Performance by time, not a clear pattern here.
Yeah, the only thing I can see is again a 12-hour trading day or more. There seems to be some clear times for profit making though, which is in the morning and then after lunch. I don't know which time zone that is in, but I bet even though crypto is a 24/7 market, there are times when liquidity and volatility increases in the market. That's usually when day traders do better as well. So maybe something to think about in the future, as always, to reduce your trading time and take a look at those times where you make the most money.
Yeah, it would be really interesting to know if those are actually maybe the opening times. So this could be market open, and this could be post lunch break when the market typically picks up, or maybe it's when another session starts.
Yeah, totally.
That would be really interesting to see. Yeah. And something for the trader to look into. When do those times? Because this is here just one trade,
In
but here
general,
clearly that's 25 trades. That's like 50% of what you're doing already.
yeah, the way it looks right now is that after 1 p.m., you could probably stop trading because if you add up the red bars versus the green bar, then you don't take a lot of trades in total, plus they negate each other.
Yeah.
Then I would just half my trading day to 5, 6 hours instead of 12 hours, and you're gonna make even more money in the morning then. So if you feel better, etc.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to feed back all into this less feeling rushed, not
Mm-hmm.
needing to do as much work as well, which is going to help your mental game. Yeah. Weekday performance wise, we've seen that a few times. Fridays are not performing great. Could be maybe because the traders are very tired from the week, not paying as much attention. Maybe the price action is different on Fridays as well. Maybe it's both actually.
Might be, yeah. Or your goals, I want to make X $500 this week, and you're only up 300 and you force trades. Could be all kinds of things. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Once you say, yeah, when you have those performance goals and then you try to reach them on a Friday, but pushing trades rarely works. That could also be here an issue. Yeah. Something to dive into. Exit analysis, we have a little bit of data. The one thing that is quite obvious that the exits, which is here the black marker, is rarely at the top of the green marker, of the green bar. So the exit is usually much lower than where the highest price is.
Mm.
Something really, really normal and common for newer traders, not being able to hold winning trades.
Could also be a trend following system or so where he's trailing his approach, but yeah, usually it's an issue with newer traders.
Yeah, he said it. I had volume on my side, but got scared and closed
Yeah,
early. My take profit was hit. Could have been much more. Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing that I noticed is the red bars here are not really large. So the trades that are working, they're working right from the start without a lot of drawdown. Of course, here are maybe 3 ones where you have a massive move against you, but it's totally fine. The majority here is really, really small pushes against you. So the trades that you are catching are working really well, actually.
That's true.
We have
So there's some how do you say that, opportunity for clipping your stops a little bit and tightening them.
Yeah. We can look at trade comments. Yeah, that seems to be a little bit redundant because you already have your mental state.
Yeah, I typically like to do that through the trade comments, these mental states, because then you can also unlock the tilt meter, which is a really cool feature in Edgewonk.
Yeah. Yeah, what I would probably do is keep the trade comments for entries like it is. I think that's really good. But you don't have to track custom stats then that are pretty much identical. You
Yeah.
could maybe add another parameters, maybe something strategy specific on your on another custom stat instead.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see trade exit. What do we have here? Avoided bigger loss. Okay, so getting out of a loss earlier. So exit. Let's see if this is active. Um, what we could do, what is quite interesting, exit at trouble zone. So traders want to get out because they think the price might turn. What you can do in your analysis is exit at trouble zone and then see, first of all, you could do, if you have dates here, yeah, you can see that you exit at a trouble zone. Of course, those are only 4 trades, but the price keeps going. So the trouble zone that you're marking is most likely not as important, and it's not causing the price to turn on you. So that would be some really interesting thing to explore if you could not care as much about the trouble zone, or maybe scale out of the position instead of fully closing it, or just trying to let it run a little bit.
Yeah, interesting finding.
Trade management, that looks good. But we found some issues here, and this is something that trader can correct. So what you can do is you go through those big jumps. Those big jumps are always interesting to see what's going on here. So here, for example, I think this is a data error. It's a long trade, entry at 88,000, take profit 88.5. Exit is at 97 marked here, but it's still tagged as a loss. So I think the exit price might not be correct. I think it should probably 87 instead of 97. That would correct your graph. So a good tip is whenever you see big jumps in a curve, looking into those why this is the case. It will fix the graph and also going to make the data accurate then once again. One thing I would really recommend to the trader, first of all, make sure that your trade management, the OTP hit, and your entry values are on point. But I think this is here going to be really interesting if you have more data in it, because it really shows that you can trust your trades. The trades are working. So having more trades with higher and lower prices, I think, will be really insightful for the trader. That's
Yeah.
a huge confidence boost when you see that you're getting out too early and you could hold on to the trade and they would make more money.
Yeah, and then if at the same time you work on your stop placement, you're gonna boost your risk reward like crazy.
Yeah.
That's gonna really have a huge effect on your edge.
Yeah. If you move your stop loss even just 25% closer to your entry, which would be then roughly here, the losses would still be losses, but your wins will be significantly larger just from a reward to risk ratio point of view. Yeah. So I think this would be a big recommendation. Just journal more trades with a higher, lower price. That would help you a lot. Another thing, as we said, the custom stat one is redundant. You don't need this one here because you're already doing this. Either save your time and don't do it, or use the custom stat for something strategy specific. I don't know if there are notes in here. Yep, there are notes, which is good. Really good practice. Seems the trader didn't continue this in 2025. Okay, but this structure here in general is good. It's a recap. What did I do good? What did I do not so good? And then you find something to improve.
Maybe this is also something they could do in the sessions tab.
Yeah, I want to go there, but no. Yeah, you could do this exact formula in the sessions as well. So you just create a new session every week. You click on add more. You just select a period here, and then you could write it. The benefit is that you get a little bit more data, and you get trade information, some statistics here, because that's exactly what the sessions are built for. Another thing that I might suspect here, because the trader stopped after November, end of November, maybe this is too much time, and it becomes not sustainable very quickly. So if this is the case, obviously I'm speculating, try a shorter format, because keeping such a routine up is going to be really, really helpful when you always look at your strategy in an objective way after the fact.
Yeah. What I really like about this trader is as well the self-talk. Most of it is really constructive and positive.
Yeah.
And they don't beat themselves up, which is really good. Right? It's
Yeah,
just
we have seen those
growth
bad.
mindset.
Yeah, totally. We've seen those bad examples in the past. And of course, I get it why you want to vent sometimes, but it should be mostly a positive self-talk. Also, with what you said, freeing up more trading time by trying to find your most profitable time and not trading outside of your profitable hours. This will give you hours that you have now to spare, and just doing this once a week with the period with the review. I think this will benefit you significantly.
Awesome. Yes. What about the one more thing I'm interested in is the either the tilt meter over the equity graph or the efficiency tab.
All right.
I have to say for a new trader, this trader is doing a lot of things very well. Might be a market wizard in the making here. I don't want to boost the ego too much, but a lot of the things that go into process here are really good, really well
Yes.
done.
Yeah. Yeah. The attention to detail, the processes, the way the journal is kept is really, really good.
Yeah.
This is a very great example for a new trader. You're not overloading yourself with too many custom stats. You're focusing on what is really, really helpful. A few things you can do extra, and then this would be a perfect journal that will help you to grow, I think, very quickly once you look into those smaller things, those details.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a very, very well maintained journal. There's nothing really to complain about here.
I just wanted to say good job.
Yes.
Like really well done.
Yeah, perfect. So the trader sent in his journal asking for advice on his general journaling routine and wanting some tips. I hope this helps. I would be really interested to take a look at this journal maybe after another 2 months to see how this is going, if the trader was implement some of the ideas that we presented, and then see how the trader's doing. Those follow-ups are very interesting, I think, for us as well, for the community, and also for the trader. So feel free to send this in again when you have maybe another 30, 40 trades in it. And we're going to do another deep dive into this.
Yeah, would be great.
Well, thank you for being here, Moritz. Thank you for submitting the journal. It was a really interesting and fun review.
Yeah, see you guys.